We have finally made it to day 7 of going to my most liked comment for a week, taking us to our final destination of Florida A&M at Alabama A&M men's basketball. Alabama A&M is a 9-18 basketball team, and Florida A&M's not that much better at 12-13. Quite frankly, I don't even know why you guys wanted me to be here. But we're gonna try to make lemonade out of lemons like we always do, because the drive from Lexington to Huntsville actually has a lot of D1 stadiums we have not walked onto, and we're gonna try for all of them today. This starts about 25 minutes south of Lexington at Eastern Kentucky. Across the street at these double doors will be our first go. Is that a prop door right in front of us? We don't have all day today. That's a phenomenal start. Pretty interesting spot to start. We got what looks like a remodel going on. Then just to the right, we have like every basketball trophy ever won by EKU in the football stadium for some reason. Here's a conference tournament championship from like 10 years ago. And just to the right of that, we have like a saber-tooth tiger trophy. I don't know how you win that. What else is through here? Seems like I have a ways to go before we're at a football stadium. Any door too small for a human is always interesting. What's through here? Looks like a place for racquetball, but this also feels a little bit too big for that too. Oh, thanks for the lights on. It feels like an asylum in here with all these old blank walls. This room seems interesting too. What's this used for? Think this is football? We are in the football stadium. This whole place is weird, man. That clearly used to be a backboard for a basketball hoop. There's no seats around here, but you also have these open rectangles up along the sides where you can like peer in and watch people. With a basketball hoop up here and turf that's pretty permanent now down here, this place clearly got repurposed, but like, what was this originally built for? What could ever go on here that would warrant making a space like this? I'm more curious about this back area than the football stadium at this point. It kind of feels like Missouri State's setup we were at about a month ago, except like kind of creepy and almost abandoned. There's just so many random rooms of miscellaneous athletic items. I can't put a rhyme or reason to this at all. Like, what could possibly be the use of this? Is this for fencing? I think this is for fencing. Here's a branded mini hoop game we're passing by that's busted up and unusable. And then we have like a CrossFit gym with full body beanbag chairs. Why do we need both of these in the same place? And now right by a film room that looks like it hasn't been used in forever, we can either go down towards the field or go up this way. I think we have to go up at this point. This is why we got to go to FCS places, man. I'll just be walking around these things and find the most random things at a way higher rate than the FBS level. This is all more offices and facilities up here, though. I'm ready to go down. And just through here is our wide open door. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not over the moon that we got pretty far away from Chicago on our last day of this 7-day challenge. Man, does it feel good to be back in hoodie weather, though. And that stadium feels pretty good to be right at field level, too. Right off the highway, we're about 15 rows high on this side, and on the other side, that's gotta be almost 100, right? I love a lopsided legend. Mostly just bathrooms and concessions on this side, but as we get closer to this concession stand, look at the amount of detail put into the beer that they're selling here. Shout out Dreaming Creek Brewery. I've never seen something like this in a stadium before. Got some football buildings beneath it, and then over on the other side, we got the cabin on the hill, which I think has a little bit more of that. This actually might be an indoor with how big this is. Definitely isn't a cabin. Definitely ain't anything to get into though, even if I wanted to try. Nice little statue plaza over here for Roy Kidd, who the stadium's named after. And it looks like we gotta run down this hill a little bit, get back in the teeth of this thing. That was a lot of work for nothing. I can't even get back in up this way. Back down and around. This right here should get us where we wanna go. This still might be difficult, honestly. Yeah, that's not happening. Oh well, we're closing in on March. We gotta slide by the basketball gym while we're over here. We'll get one quick clip of baseball too while we're passing it on the way. Is this a dorm room right here? This feels like a massive building to be on an FCS campus. I feel pretty decent about this being open. It looks inviting. Just about everything here is locked up, except this guy right here. Shout out whoever left that. I'll leave it behind for the next guy. Okay, now this is actually looking like an up-to-date facility. I see you. This even smells brand new. And just to the right of it, with the wooden roof, there's our court. Now coming in here, I'm pretty certain there's like an entire athletic renovation project going on. It seems like basketball is a lot further along than football, but football should be coming next. I do really like this though. When you can combine getting an updated concourse and premium sections and still keep old stuff like exposed bricks and a wooden ceiling, that's when you get a special arena right there. Think about how fresh that club section was we were just in and compare that to these wooden bleachers that are still around here. I hope these stay though. These are a relic of the past. And we will wrap this one up with the top floor view before we get out of here. I think that's a head coach down there, so I don't want to get on the floor. I don't want an altercation. Kind of scared me in the first half, Eastern Kentucky. I'm not gonna lie, but you guys came around pretty well. And that next spot is taking us to Tennessee Tech. This is it. This is a stadium. There's no bleachers on the other side at all. This is why we can't go full FCS like some of y'all asked me to do. You know how disappointed I would be if I drove specifically to go see a football stadium and this was it? There's got to be at least 50 high schools around Chicagoland that compete with this. I've never seen a goalpost you can raise and lower with a lever. This is the most tempting thing to touch I've ever seen. What does it look like inside these brick bleachers? Can't be a whole lot better, right? I mean, what was the point of this? I think I'm most disappointed because this campus is actually really nice. When I pulled up here, I was expecting something that would exceed my expectations, but this is far from it. Surely this construction site going over half the track is contributing to a renovation project for the football stadium, but until then, this is one of the worst stadiums we've been to. This is pretty bad. For the sake of the walk-on challenge too, I got in through right here. This is harder to access than I thought it would be because of the construction. We're also not on the field because no one told me to leave, so shout out to them. The bar is on the floor right now, but at least from the outside, this basketball arena looks a lot better. Is it open though? That's a question. Oh, that's actually a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Thanks for keeping the door open for me, ladies. Their team's actually incredible. These right here are all conference champions for women's basketball. That's like what, 21? Just like Eastern Kentucky, actually even more drastically than Eastern Kentucky. This arena is blowing football out of the water. This has to seat more than a vast amount of mid-majors and the Jumbotron's power conference level and its all seatbacks. We have gone from one of the worst D1 football stadiums I've seen to one of the best mid-major basketball arenas I've seen. I'm the most surprised by this because I kind of feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee right now. We're in Cookeville, which has 35,000 people. What happens in here to fill this place up? No disrespect to the program, but you would have to get a quarter of the city in here to fill it. I also just can't believe how much of a mid-major wagon Tennessee Tech women's basketball is. Every one of these banners is women's basketball banners. I will say my one gripe here though, these banners are pretty dated. Y'all invested into everything else. That should be a small expense compared to that nice Jumbotron. What else is in the concourse of the guy outside turns some music on? A little football trophy case? That looks really good. Especially looks good that it's lit up. That's something I need to see more of. I haven't seen one of these standees up for a men's player walking around either. Does the women's team outdraw the men's team here? This is like one of the only places I've been where I actually would believe that's true. Little rough start here, but a great finish. We're getting one more shot at campus on our way out. Man, this is pretty. And now we finally made it, just in time for it to be dark out. This does actually look halfway decent from the outside. Wish I had more light for it. And our first gate's wide open. That's great too. Especially on a game day for basketball. I was really hoping to get some lights that could show the field or maybe get a scoreboard on to have something in here, but there's nothing. This is the darkest place we've been. I don't know why there's people on the field right now, but there is. One of them just made a loud noise and scared the shit out of me. Outside of what we've already seen, we got concessions right here. Seems pretty affordable. Got some good combo deals. And that's really all there is to show on this side. I'm really the most impressed with this club section. I think that's gonna have the most stuff to actually take a good look at. We're walking on a track around the field to get there. There still is people on the field, but I literally cannot see them. I don't think they can see me either. Sounds like it's 2 or 3 people. Not sure if they're supposed to be here or not, but I'm minding my own business. Just as we come up to this field house, they shut these lights off too. Can you see the good boy? I hope you can. How do you win a spring national championship in football? Is that like an HBCU only thing? It's gotta be, right? Is this guy open? I just want to find anything that has lights at this point. Oh, bet, nice. Is this only a weight room? I'm not seeing anything else through these double doors. Yeah, there's nothing else in here. There's gotta be like a locker room below this or something. Maybe over here? It's a little bit small, but the lockers themselves, pretty solid. This actually might be just a little bit bigger than we thought. Got some stuff back here too. This has to be just for like specialists or something. Then it's a bathroom. We're moving out. If that door led to a locker room, I'm led to believe this door leads to something too. Office, office, office. Nothing that fun. Trophies, a little bit more fun. And facility, probably. That's the most fun. I'll let whoever is in here watch Love Island to themselves. Let's try to find that club space, if I can even get back in the stadium. Gate's still open, we're all good. Pretty sure if I'm seeing this right too, we got like game day sheds right off the field. That is a game day setup and a half right off the end zone. This one's actually wide open too. Yo, can I turn a light on in here? Come on. Kind of empty for the off season, but we got some rocking chairs in here. This feels like the type of place that you would be able to customize a little bit. I want to see a couple more of these if we can. One next to it's not open. Maybe this one right here. Nah, I don't think it's happening for us today. This is what we wanted to do. And we can walk right up. Really, really big FCS stadium. There's a ton of seats up here. Looks like we got to gate straight to the basketball arena when we need it. And can we get right here? That's a big question. Probably the best view of the stadium in daylight right here. Shout out to this Kia dealership for the ad. Sugar Bear Cruise, who the stadium was named after, right here. Another little shout out to John Stallworth. Here's the door. Can we use it? Ooh, nice. I was pretty bummed about the light situation, but this access, we're making up for it. For some reason, I just love how these frames and trophies are set up. It makes it feel homey in here. I would assume at this point I can get up. Easy. Ooh, President Suite, Alumni Suite. That's a hot start. Can we get in? Man, we are not missing today. With a bunch of glass right there, I really don't want to turn these lights on while those folk are on the field. The flashlight's gonna have to do. Maybe just a little regular suite we can pop into too. Oh, we got everything open today. Outside of obviously being smaller, this really isn't any different than the President Suite at all. We got one more floor to go to. Then this basketball game starting up in 15 minutes, so we got to get over there. This is actually just media down here. I thought there was going to be a club. I feel like they kind of did this backwards. Usually you got this stuff at the very, very top, and then the clubs and suites are below that. There is still a few more suites down here, though, that look just like the rest of them. That was enough for me. Time to go to this game. Walk on the field. We're out of here.